Today I've got an announcement for you from Princess Cruises. They released it. A lot of their deposits are changing. We're used to being refundable deposits. The entire game with Princess Deposit is changing, and I'm going to tell you about it. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Saturday. It is October 11th of 2025. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please be sure to subscribe? And if you appreciate my updates, would you please be sure to give this video a thumbs up? It's great to have you with us, and I think you'll learn a lot sticking here with us in our Let's Go family. So what I wanted to talk about, like I said, today is Princess changing their deposits. Historically, Princess has overwhelmingly had refundable deposits. They've had those Princess Picks little promos that they have done over the last has it been a whole year even? And those have had non-refundable deposits, but the entire game, like I said, is going to be changing with the deposits. I think it's important that you know that the information that I have is directly from Princess Cruises. It's not from a secondary source. I didn't find it on Facebook anywhere. It's directly from Princess. So first up, effective October 15th, Princess is changing their deposit. So officially it says starting October 15th, 2025, most new bookings will be subject to a default. That means if you don't change it, it's going to be non-refundable deposit policy. Deposits must be paid at the time of booking. We're used to that, and are non-refundable unless upgraded to a refundable deposit at the time of booking. Additional fees apply. If the booking is made inside the final payment period, the booking is due as full, and we're used to that. Whenever you book a cruise, you decide you're going to go within that final payment window, you always have to pay for the cruise 100%. That's not going to change. So there's a little bit of an FAQ that goes along with this, and I want you to know about it. It says for most public promotions, a refundable deposit option is available at the time of booking only. So you cannot go back and change whether or not you have a refundable or non-refundable deposit. You choose that at the time that you book your cruise. Okay, it says this option results in a non-discounted deposit as well as a price adjustment using and then it says a little offer code. And so if you're thinking about who does their pricing like this, immediately it came to my mind right off the top of my head, Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. If you're not familiar with them, they have a deposit that's always due, and at the time of booking you're going to choose if you're going to do refundable or non-refundable. The non-refundable deposit, it's non-refundable. On Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, what they'll let you do is usually you can switch to another ship or sail date, and they'll charge you $100 a person. That's how they do it. But if you want the refundable deposit, the cruise fare goes up, and it's usually a chunk that it goes up. And so overwhelmingly, as I book people on Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, they choose the non-refundable deposit. It's really rare that people choose the refundable deposit simply because the cruise fare costs so much more. And so keep that in mind. That's where I've seen it, like the thing that snapped into my head the fastest off of this. Other cruise lines have non-refundable deposits too, but of the ones that are the mass market that are, you think of your Princess, your Norwegian, your Royal Caribbean, your Celebrity, your Carnival, it's Royal Caribbean and Celebrity that I feel like they're really copying on this. This is going to apply to all future sailings. So everything that you book after October 15th, you're going to be choosing refundable or non-refundable. This applies to people who are residents of North America, and it's really important. Let me tell you. So not only if you book, it shows here a little chart. It says non-refundable deposit amounts per person when it's being promoted as a 50% deposit. So, sometimes Princess will run those promos and they'll say, 50% off deposits. So when they do that, if the cruise is 5 days or less, the deposit will be $100. 6 to 9 days, it'll be $250. 10 to 44 days, the deposit will be $400 a person, and 45 days or longer is 15% of your cruise. Also interesting for you to know that when you get to those longer cruises that are 45 days and longer, future cruise deposits don't work. If you didn't know that, future cruise deposits will not take the place of the deposit on 40 days and longer cruises. Refundable deposits are going to remain unchanged when it is advertising a 50% off deposit per person. 5 days or less is going to be $200. 6 to 9 days will be $500 a person. 10 to 44 days will be $800, and 45 days or longer, it's going to be 30%. So they truly, if you want that refundable deposit, you're going to pay more to have it. And then I'm going to talk to you about why I feel like they're maybe doing this. Okay, it's important to know overall that if you have a group, that you will be able to have refundable deposits with them. So I'm really happy to hear that, since I love to do groups and go places with all of you. And then interlane rates. Those of you who book interlane, those deposits are going to remain refundable as well. You don't have to do anything different on those two kinds of bookings. You can't change your mind if you're going to have, if you book as a refundable deposit, you're going to keep a refundable deposit. You can't later on say, I think I'm going to be able to go. Let me switch that to a non-refundable and save some money. Nope, that's what you're going to have to do. It says, is there a penalty if you want to, will they waive the non-refundable deposit if you want to move to another ship and sail date? Nope. You are paying a non-refundable deposit that is truly non-refundable. If you don't go on the cruise that you booked, you're going to lose your deposit. It's as simple as that. So they don't have flexibility with that. Oh, and future cruise deposits. Future cruise deposits are going to be just like money when you're doing these non-refundable deposits. That's how it's been with those Princess Picks, that promo, which was a better cruise fare. If you went ahead and used a future cruise deposit as a non-refundable deposit, if you cancel, you don't get your future cruise deposit back. So I have a couple of things in mind that I think are really important to think about with this. Number one, why do I think Princess is doing this? I think this is just me. Nobody told me this. This is just me as I think about how I book Princess cruises. I have a lot of people who cancel. And I know that sometimes, things come up in life. You have family things that come up, you have health things that come up, and you can't help it. But I also know that there's a lot of people that book cruises like, I'll book it in case I want to go. And I think that Princess is trying to weed some of that out, because when you have people that keep a booking until you're 90 days out or longer on these longer voyages, and then you suddenly have a lot of inventory to sell, I could see that would be a little bit hard. I don't know what the overall cancellation rate is for Princess. Nobody's ever told me that, so I don't know. But I'm thinking that they really want people to only book the cruises that they actually intend to take. And then, of course, they want to make money with it. They want to be able to keep your deposit if you're not going to go on your cruise. And it's a business choice. Absolutely. Just like not giving, people that pay $60 or $90 a day, or sorry, it's now $65 and $95 a day. And then a little bit more if you are on the Sun or the Star Princess that you pay for the Plus or Premier package. They're not giving us cans of soda. It's same thing. It is a business decision. That's what they're doing. And so I had to throw that soda gate in there because the Diet Coke that they're serving on this ship is miserable. How are we going to manage this? So, here's what you need to think about. If you are going to go on a cruise and you don't know that you're going to go, or you think, well, I want to protect myself against anything unexpected that's going to come up, you're going to have some insurance. If you want to be able to use the cruise line insurance when these things happen, and it's going to be really interesting to see if they pay on this, because it's a non-refundable deposit and you knew it. It's like picking up a snake and then complaining that you got bit. No, you knew you picked up a snake. And so if you want to try to use the cruise line insurance, you're going to have paid for that by the time you cancel your cruise, right? So you're going to spend money that way. The best option that I can see is, especially if you travel a lot, is you're going to want to get an annual policy. So Allianz, who Gordon and I get ours through, that is not a plug for them. I chose them because they're very well rated, and because people I know that have had claims with them have had them settled very nicely. So that's how we came to get our annual policy through them. And our annual policy covers all of our travel for a year. The way an annual policy works is if you use up what is, the amount of coverage in that policy and you still have some of the year left, you're just out of luck. You have to buy another policy, but that is still cheaper for us. So we've never had to do that, but that's how that would work. So if you book a non-refundable deposit, if you have that annual policy, you already have insurance. It is going to be interesting to see how that happens. So if you have sailed with Royal Caribbean, Celebrity before, booked a non-refundable deposit and had to cancel it and submitted that claim, will you please let us know how that went? I don't have that going on a lot, and it's really interesting. I have a lot of people that cancel. Well, a lot is like, I do have a lot of people that cancel with Princess, and then with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, I don't have that. And I don't know if it's because people think about it a little bit more as they make that non-refundable deposit. I'm not really sure. So let us know though how that turned out. Would you please, just in the comments, or send me an email. My email address is letsgotraveltips@gmail.com. No apostrophe in the let's, just letsgotraveltips@gmail.com. I think we need to do immediately about this. If you have been planning to book a cruise, you should go ahead and book it now before the 15th, because October 15th, that is going to change. Until then, you can still book like we have always done and get that refundable deposit. If you're someone that I have the pleasure of working with, or you would like to work with me as I'm a travel agent, I'm here in Europe if you've been following along, but I am still working, and I'm staying up late so that I can talk to people at a decent time in the United States, which is entirely my pleasure. So if you want to book a cruise before the 15th, let me know. You can call me, text me, you can email me. If I'm not getting right back to you, just call me, send me a text. A text is nice, and then I know to call you back. But make sure that I reply so that I've got the text already. We've had a few that haven't come through just right, but I'd be delighted to help you with it, and we'll figure this out. I'm really excited to see how these the differences in the cruise fare kind of shows up on the 15th and what we're looking at. Another quick note for you: if you have been dragging your feet and you want to go on that transatlantic, the Fire and Ice cruise we're doing next year as a group, September 19th, you leave Southampton September 19th, you go to some ports, I think it's 4 ports in Norway, and then you get to stop in Reykjavik, Iceland, and you end up in New York City on October 3rd, 2026. That cruise is pretty much waitlisted. I have just a couple of cabins left in my group allotment, so that's really nice. So if you want to come, we need to decide that sooner than later, so let me know about that. So any other questions you've got, pop them in the comments, let me know, and I really look forward to hearing from you. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.